Yo, my people, views tube, we are back, but today we're live. If the internet's rubbish, I apologize. That's why I've not been recording at a massive rate like I was before, kind of one after the other, because the internet has not been interneting. Let's be honest, it's just not. We are gonna fix it though at some point, but less of my waffle. Big up to Mali. He asked for the deadly divide in Hackney or Hackney. So here we are. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, doing all the good YouTube stuff.
Get me, but hey, bam! You know I don't do this waffling thing.
Let's get it up. Let's get it going. 98s versus ZTs. Let's go.
The London Borough of Hackney is a borough located within East London. The borough is among the 5 deadliest and most dangerous London boroughs. In 2023, the crime rate within Hackney was 135 crimes per 1,000 people, which is surprisingly higher than surrounding boroughs. Hackney's crime rate actually comes in 29% higher than London's, being 105 crimes per 1,000 people.
Hold on. What do you mean than London's? He just started it in the London borough of Hackney, East London, and now they're comparing the crimes per capita or whatever it is with London. If I'm missing something here, let me know in the chat or in the comments if you get this on playback. That's weird to me, guys. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what's all that about? If there's something I don't know, maybe some parts of the borough are outside London. I can't, I couldn't tell you. But yeah, just a bit weird that he said that, innit? Especially because he started by saying in the London borough and East London.
Population of Hackney is around 279,000 residents, and from an outside look in, on the surface, the borough doesn't seem bad. However, what a lot of people that live in and around Hackney don't know about is the disturbing gang war that has spanned decades and has resulted in kidnappings, shootings, and murders, all being linked to the ongoing war. This being the gang war between 98s based in Homerton and ZT based around the London Fields area within Hackney. These two gangs have actually had a historic beef that has spanned over 3 decades, being one of London's oldest postcode rivalries. Now, the London Field Boys, or ZT, is a large street gang based within the London Fields area in Hackney E8. The ZT gang is mainly based around the Blackstone estate and the Moorland estate. However, they also operate in other surrounding estates. The older generation of ZT is known as the London Field Boys, or LFB for short, whilst the younger generation is known as ZT, or Zero Tolerance. The gang is also referred to as Mashtown and simply Fields. Anyway,
Mashtown. I'm old enough to remember early Margs, rapper, obviously pen game, content creator space or whatever. Margs, right? If I'm wrong, in the chat or obviously in the comments on playback, let me know if that's the same thing.
The London Field Boys was originally created as an offshoot from the older Hackney Boys, as the London Field Boys made up most of the Hackney Boys in membership. It would be around this time, being the 1990s and 2000s, that the London Field Boys would be significant in the gang war between TMD or Tottenham Mandem and the Hackney Boys. It would be around the late 2000s that members of the London Field Boys would create a music group, this being referred to as Mashtown. With this group,
right, I literally just said that, innit? Literally, no, it wasn't. Mashtown was a musical group. Hit or whatever, HMD was just a term used. It wasn't an actual group. They were LF or HFC. That's it. They were Fields. Okay. Okay. I don't know then. Like I said in the chat, learn me up if you can.
Group being affiliated with the London Field Boys. Following the gang war between the Hackney Boys and TMD, younger generations of both gangs became more prominent within the streets, one of these being the London Field Boys, which became prominent within the streets and had begun to beef the nearby Holly Street and Homerton gangs.
Yeah, let me just big up Everest. Like obviously I always do these pre-record, innit? I'm absolutely knackered myself, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's why I didn't do a show myself on the sports channel. Hospital, new life coming, it's taking all day. You know what I'm saying? So I literally, once I do this, I'm gonna try and eat, get some sleep, and then probably back down there. We've got a member stream as well on the sports channel later, so if I'm back in time I'll do it. If not, it's gonna have to wait. But big up Everest, man. appreciate you passing by. Let's continue.
In recent years, a younger offshoot gang to the London Field Boys would become a lot more significant in the streets, this gang being referred to as ZT, or Zero Tolerance, which is the gang that was portrayed in Netflix.
I was literally just about to say this.
His successful show, Top Boy.
ZTs stand for zero tolerance for any other gang, for anyone else shooting on the streets, and they all work for me.
However, we can't talk about ZT without talking about their main rivals, 98s. On the opposing side of ZT is a large street gang known as 98s. The 98s gang is actually two small street gangs based on different postcodes within Hackney. These
Another recurring theme. It's not very original. ZT, Zero Tolerance, is like an actual name rather than a postcode. But most of the other gangs, it's some type of postcode or a link up of the couple of postcodes.
being the postcodes E9 and E8, hence the name 98s. The gang based on the E9 postcode is known as Niners. However, the gang is also referred to as Homerton, as that is the main territory that the gang takes up. The Niners gang goes all the way back to the 1990s, with the Hackney boys originally.
Look, there he is. Early Moggs, Mashtown. So obviously I found out about Mashtown like through music and stuff, innit? Not what was going on in the streets, but it's like most things, another recurring theme. You're not learned up on the fry-ins until it makes the news or music. Do you know what I'm saying? Things like that. But let's continue.
Drawing members from E9. The current Niners gang from E9 was originally an offshoot gang from older gangs based around the E9 postcode. An example of this was CBR, or Certified Balance Road, with this gang sharing an alliance with E5, this being referred to as 925. This alliance was formed around 2007 and was the affiliation between Balance Road based within E9 and Pembury within the E5 postcode, with these two gangs still being affiliated after nearly 20 years. The Niners gang is affiliated with Pembury.
Big up Kwaja. I keep forgetting to keep looking on this screen because I normally do these pre-record, so there's no comments. But big up to you, my bro. Hope you're well. 3 likes, not bad. I thought I'd do it live today. I know the internet might be janky. My apologies, innit? You know what I mean? Hope you're good today. I'm absolutely knackered though, innit? The missus sister, first baby, like it's been going on for like 16 hours already. Do you know what I'm saying? Madness. And the baby still ain't here. So yeah, big up to you guys, man. Kwaja, Everest in the building. I had Zero Tolerance title t-shirt long time ago. Well, now you know what it's attached to. No, obviously not. But big up to you, man. Big up to you guys. Let's continue, man. Let's get this done. Big up to Mali because he said to do Hackney as well. So that's why we're here.
Hoxton, and most importantly, Holly Street. Now, Holly Street, or the Holly Street Boys, are a street gang based around the Holly Street estate within the E8 postcode. This gang is very closely allied with Niners, with these two gangs making up the larger 98s gang. The Holly Street gang has been operating since the 1980s. However, the gang has gone by different names throughout the years. One of the more significant names was that of Rowdy Bunch, which was a group of young men.
Rowdy Bunch. It must have been from the early 90s because who says rowdy in 2026? I'm a bit silly, you know this already. That has to be an old school name. Do you know what I mean?
Members from surrounding areas, and it would be the younger generation to Rowdy Bunch, this being known as Junior Rowdy Bunch, that would then become referred to as Holly Street. The Holly Street gang is actually known to be one of the biggest and richest street gangs within the
Oh my God, hold on.
London borough of Hackney. In recent years,
yeah, it's probably good that it's pixelated here. And listen, big them up, innit? Yeah, this is your typical like drill video. Hold on. Yeah, this is your typical drill video. Footage of people getting searched. That will be on the video.
known to be one of the biggest.
The smoke, someone holding the smoke. You know what I'm saying? Someone's friend's car. They've just come down. Couple of the man them. Now look at them. He's masked up, gloves, hood, puffer jacket. It don't look sunny outside. It looks cold, doesn't it? You know what I'm saying? But then you've got her over here. Then you've got this one over here. Now, big her up. This ain't no disrespect. But as a father of a daughter, yeah, I'd never want to see my daughter doing this, bro. I'm like the one girl in no clothes near enough. It looks like it's cold outside. Flapping on the hood of a car like a fish out of water. No disrespect to her. I'm just saying, innit? I'm just saying, as a father of a daughter, I don't want to be seeing her doing this.
And richest street gangs within the London borough of Hackney. In recent years, the Holly Street Gang would form a close alliance with nearby Niners, creating the Gang 98s, as both gangs have territory on the E9 and E8 postcode. Now, for years, the Holly Street Gang has had a rivalry with nearby London Fields or ZT, with this being known to be one of London's oldest ongoing postcode war. This war spanning from the early 1990s to present day. Prominent members of 98s include Unknown T, who is a part of the Niners set.
Homer B. And who's that? KO. Yeah, KO. I swear he's in jail right now. I swear he's in jail right now. They'll probably tell us. Obviously, the 98s. I know about these guys from the music, innit? Unknown T, this guy KO, Billy Billions. You know what I'm saying? But they're kind of like the prominent V9. You know what I'm saying? So I knew about them from music, but not directly from the gang stuff. And I'm pretty sure KO is in jail right now. Big up to Everest. Hope the baby your mum is doing well, man. Yeah, man. Obviously, it's one of those long ones. My first son was like nearly 30 hours. Do you know what I'm saying? So it usually happens with first babies. They go overdue, then they take all day to come out. And it's not like to say that, you know, my missus's sister and her man's not there, but yeah, the missus is acting like it's her baby. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, but there you go. Hey, big up, man. Big up to you, Kwaja. 5 likes so far. Big up, man. Big up. That skimpy club, bro. I'm just saying, man. Nice, but yeah, I'm just saying. It's all good, but I don't want that to ever be my daughter. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? As a father of a daughter, I don't want to see her as the one girl flapping on a car with hardly no clothes on. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? But big her up though, no disrespect. Hey yo, big up Unknown T. I rate his voice. Yeah, man. He's known. He's very, very known. But that Homer and B, that's what it was. That sent them. Do you get me? But anyway, let's continue.
KO also a part of the Niners set, and Billy Billions, who is a part of the Holly Street set within the 98s gang. Now, the 98s gang is affiliated with Hoxton, Pembury, and Essex Road, whilst the 98s gang has beef with nearby EC1, A Road, and most importantly, London Fields. However, you may be confused as to why these two gangs have had a deadly rivalry for almost 3 decades.
We're not I know he's got to say that for these videos. We're never confused, man. We're never confused. It either starts with something petty, like a watch getting stolen or fights escalating, or it will start with the mad thing straight away, someone getting shot or stabbed, and then it don't end after that. How are you supposed to just say, yeah, all right, forget about it? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, for the sake of his videos, he has to say things like that.
That has resulted in multiple people dying. Now, the beef between 98s and ZT was started around the late 1980s and early 1990s, and is alleged to be due to a
Unknown T was in the slammer. I think he was, yeah. But I think he beat a murder case, though. I think because he's not there no more. So, yeah, I think he's done time before. I'm not entirely sure. Must have, but he beat a murder case. That's what we do know. I mean, they might even talk about it in this video. The same for KO, actually. So, I'm interested to find out. Let's keep it going.
Junior rowdy member, allegedly attacking and stabbing a member from the London Fields gang, with this member then being charged with manslaughter. However, this is only alleged, and may be wrong, so if you have any other information, drop it in the comments. Anyways, during the early days of the beef,
and drop it in these comments as well if you know anything, the people on playback. If I've missed anything, let me know.
Members associated with London Fields and members associated with 98s would clash, with it being said that there were 30 members of London Fields and only 10 members of Holly Street, E8, with this clash then turning into one of London's first postcode riots. A lot of these street brawls would occur between London Fields and Holly Street around this time, with it slowly escalating into a more dangerous beef, and it would be around 2003 that the first person would be killed as a result of the rivalry.
Slowly escalating, so little slights here and there. A lot of the times it's, you know, bigger gangs that split into subsets, old friends. Like, these recurring themes are really recurring. Do you know what I'm saying?
2003, a member of the London Field Boys, known as JD, would begin to gain attention within the streets of Hackney. This mainly being due to the fact that JD's brother was a well-known and respected member of LFB known as CS, who was even alleged to have been the boss of LFB at the time. This then resulting in JD becoming a very loved member of LFB, so it would come as a surprise that in June 2003, JD would sadly fall victim to the streets, with the death of JD marking a war. In June 2003, JD and other LFB members would would be on their way home from a street party. The members would walk for a few minutes.
Oh, the recurring themes. Don't die for the girl with the bum bum. You know what I'm saying? Every time, bro. Parties, carnival, street gathering. It's like the only other time you can get these guys outside if they're not trapping or drilling or whatever. But if there's always a recurring theme, a party, walking home from a function, mad.
Before arriving at the junction of Lansdowne Drive and Shrubland Road within Hackney, two members of Holly Street, these being Pepe and Aaron, would be in a car and would see the LFB members. The Holly Street members would shoot JD in the leg before then shooting him in the chest with a shotgun. The attackers would flee and JD would attempt to escape the attackers. JD would actually be able to jump over a wall before collapsing to the ground and being pronounced dead only moments later.
No way. No way. Like, none of this stuff is good, yeah? But you have to say, like, humans, they can be so amazing and so stupid at the same time. Obviously, for, you know, killing each other, for enslaving ourselves, all of, you know, mashing up our planet. You know, that's what humans do. But at the same time, he got shot in the leg with a handgun and then got shot in the chest with a shotgun. JD managed to jump a wall and run a distance before falling to the ground and dying. What? None of this is funny, but I just can't. Shot in the leg, maybe you can still move, the other leg's fine, you're going to be in pain. Shot in the chest with a shotgun and you still manage to get over a wall. That is madness. That is absolute. Hey guys, big up the people in the building. That's mad. The human body, you know, adrenaline. Big up to Everest, man. Views, when were you dilemma? How did you manage to bypass these attacks? Listen, the grime scene was going off. Like, you go to certain sidewinders and, yeah, outside of London, and people are letting off shots in the dance. Like, there was always rough stuff in grime. It weren't ever easy, but it was just a different culture. People got beat up, people got stabbed and shot, but it was just at a much lower level. But with this whole new genre of drill, it's very much like, we got to be doing what we're saying in the raps, and then you come on and grass yourself up, and a lot of these things, you know, people are getting stabbed or shot in the street, on the bus, in a party. Look, there's got London, the most CCTV place on the planet. If I'm mistaken, someone let me know, right? These guys, they got the heart, but they ain't got no brain, because they all get caught. There's very small percentage that don't. But yeah, grime was a little bit different from drill, my G. There was big raves. Like, for drill, there's no raves. That would be mad. That would be absolutely crazy. And like I said, it was a different time, man. It was still rough. People got shot. People got, you know, had accidents. People died, but it was very rare. It was like always last resort. Whereas now, and I know I'm having a bit of a tangent, now it's first resort. You know what I'm saying? Whereas then it was last resort. So crazy. We got a new Mickey Dub. Big up to you, man. I went school with these fools. They were dumb as fuck then, and they stayed dumb as fuck still. Like I said, they've got the heart, but they've got acorn in their brain, just swimming in hot dog juice, innit? That's why I've been doing these videos. I'm interested in it. I'm a father of 2 boys and a daughter. You know, my eldest is from Stowe in East London. I can't always govern him. You get me? But obviously the one that I live with here and my daughter, I govern him. He don't just go out on the road and nah. Even the way he dresses, bro. Because this thing is mad. Big up to you, Mickey, man. What was crime like since you were born in the UK? It's always been crazy. Like, look, some of the other cities I've done, Quadra, they've said the population is like 240k, 300k. That's like Hackney on its own. That's one part of London. There's like 9 million people in London, bro. Like, there's always something going on. If it ain't every day, it's every other day. Helicopters, stabbings, acid in the face, people getting run over, and lots of accidents as well. But yeah, it's crazy, man. It is. It's not easy, mate. That's what I'll tell you. It's not easy, but let's continue.
Later, police and emergency services would arrive on the scene and would launch a murder investigation. Both members affiliated with Holly Street would be arrested following this attack, these being Pepe and Aaron. They would both be charged with...
Sorry, that just said Boreham Wood. Now, I know my geography ain't great, but I'm not sure that Boreham Wood's near Hackney. What was he doing around these ways, shooting people as well?
The murder, and later in 2005 would be sentenced to life with a minimum of 15 years, with one of the members even snitching on the other in order to reduce the...
Another recurring theme. One of the members even snitching on the other. I say this all the time, guys. Know the people that you're standing with, because they could be involved in stuff that gets you shot at or ran up. You know, someone runs up on you and stabs you. You ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You know what I mean? So you got to know your people. But also, if you're out here trying to do these drills, man, I don't know your people. The same message. The moment you get caught, and most of these guys do get caught, the British police are one of the best in the world, believe it or not. Snitching. You know what I mean? Wild.
Time he was sentenced to. Rest in peace, JD. Following the death of JD, the beef between Holly Street and London Fields would escalate into a war, with both gangs now having a deadly beef with each other, with members often catching each other. This then resulting in stabbings, shootings, and brawls occurring between each side of the rivalry. It would be around this time that London Fields would also be in a deadly war with the TMD gangs from Tottenham, with this beef also getting dangerous, resulting in the deaths of Marga, WH, and Skip, who was killed only months.
Bro, Skip. If I took away his hair, that looks that looks like my cousin. I'm not even gonna say names. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's mad. That is mad. That's the way he's sitting and everything. That actually looks like my cousin. It's not, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, crazy works. Anyway, let's continue.
After JD was killed. However, this isn't the rivalry I'll be discussing in this video. Now, not much is known about the beef following the death of JD, so I'll only really be discussing the main events and drills, and it would be around the early 2010s that a young member of LFB would start to get active within the streets, this member being known as D-Dot, who was only 15 when he would start to gain attention. However,
JD, D-Dot. The names ain't very, that's another recurring theme. They're not very, well thought. They're not very original. There's a lot of samey stuff.
However, in the following months, rival members would start to notice him, and on his 16th birthday, he would sadly fall victim to the streets, with this incident resulting in members creating...
Sorry, I know I'm stopping it quite a lot, but obviously we're live. This is my reaction. Once the live processes, I'll get the link to the original video down below, and you can watch it, you know, undisturbed if that's what you want to do. But we're here to react on it. This is just, yeah, like I said, sorry, let me just wheel it back. On his 16th birthday, guys, they were saying that he started to get noticed by rivals. How? Was he selling drugs? Is that what's going to make you notice him? Unless he's doing it on your patch or showing that he's got lots of money, how are you going to notice him? So that makes me feel like he was doing drills. He was stabbing. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what it makes me feel like. And this guy, UK Drill Plug, big him up. But he's always saying, rest in peace, rest in peace, rest in... What do you mean? These guys were killers as well. These guys were doing stabbings as well. I'm not saying... I don't want nobody to die. But save the rest in pieces for the civilians, the innocent people that get killed. Not the people that live and die this way. You know, 16th birthday. These guys don't even get to 20s a lot of the time.
16th birthday, he would sadly fall victim to the streets, with this incident resulting in members creating ZT or zero tolerance in his honor. On the 24th of April 2013, a member of London Fields known as D-Dot would be out celebrating his 16th birthday at around 3 p.m.
Sorry.
A member of London Fields known as D-Dot would...
D-Dot. Man looks about 12, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Look at this. 16, he don't even look 16. On his 16th birthday, sweet 16, killed. Do you know what I'm saying? And this happens all the time over here, man, all the time.
Be out celebrating his 16th birthday. At around 3 p.m, D-Dot would be traveling on the 393 bus in North London, when a member of Pembury known as Skid would spot him. The two members would seemingly have a confrontation, before Skid would retrieve a knife.
That's crazy, because they're saying riding on the bus in North London. You got to remember, these men are from East London. It's not far. North East is quite close, but still, none of them are actually in their areas, and that's where they spot each other as well. So obviously, you got to realize, people in that kind of life, that's why people get got at funerals and parties and public, because they don't come outside otherwise. Or they do, but they're ganged up or they're out to drill, because that's the life you live. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just crazy to me, man. It's just crazy to me. Let's continue.
Knife and would stab D-Dot multiple times. Skid would flee following the attack, and the bus driver would pull over.
Sorry, the bus driver. Now, anyone that's from London knows that the buses have got all types of CCTV on it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you do, yeah, supermarkets, clubs. I know this guy's been caught. Whoever killed this D-Dot, I know he's been caught. I've not watched this before. I know he's been caught because you done it on the bus. Bait. You know what I mean? F16 is so much. Yeah, exactly, man. I think rest in peace has lost its meaning. Bro, it's not. Do you know what it is? It's like I said, I'm not trying. I don't want no one to die. This is why we're doing these videos, is education. I'm a father myself. You know, we learn together. However, how can I say rest in peace? It's like one of the other ones I've done. The guy said it in the video that the guy culprit was shooting at people a week before he got killed. Then he got found and killed. But a week before that, he was shooting at people. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's the only reason I'm like, it's not really rest in peace, only unless they're civilians or innocent people. Bit of a tangent, but let's continue.
Calling the police. Emergency services would arrive on the scene and would treat D-Dot before he would be airlifted to a nearby hospital. However, sadly, only hours later, D-Dot would be pronounced dead in the hospital. With a murder investigation being launched following the attack, Skid would be arrested after the—
Oh my God. Hey, Everest and Kwaja, if you're still in the building, you know what I'm like, bro. Oh my God. This guy is looking like the Black Benjamin, but why does he look so young but so old at the same time? You know, like that. Like the guy's 14, but he's already a war veteran. Like, what is going on, bro? Man said Skid. Why is he look? I don't know. Kwaja, Everest, I don't know. Maybe Kwaja's in the UK. Don't you remember that British Bulldog? What was it called? Oh, yes. What was the British Bulldog called? Oh, my days. Why is he looking like, I don't know, some sort of villain out of Harlem Nights? Like, this looks like a mad mugshot for this guy, bro. Skid, you know. No sense in between those creases in his head. No sense whatsoever. You just did it on a bus. You know he's behind doors now. You know, like them Nigerians, this meant to be under 14s, brother. You know what I'm saying? My man looks like he's 20 or so, or 40, bro. What's going on?
The murder and would be charged. Later in November 2013, Skid would be found guilty and would be sentenced to 12 years for the murder. Rest in peace, D.
Just 12 years. That is wild. Just 12 years. Maybe because he was so young. Churchy, see? From the UK. Oh, yes. Telling me my man don't look like one of those dogs with all the creases on their head and that. That is wild. But 12 years for a murder, maybe because he was young.
D-Dot. Following the death of D-Dot, his friends would form a new set known as ZT, which has become very popular in the UK drill scene, with rappers like Ballistic, Asko, and Lats dropping songs that—
The only Lats I know is from South London. Ballistic, unfortunately, never heard of him. I know about Asko, though. I didn't know he was Hackney, though, but I know about Asko.
Gained millions of views. A prominent member of Niners known as V9 would actually show love to D-Dot on Facebook, which just shows that some of these guys used to be friends before the beef got deadly, and they had to choose a side, with V9 beginning to diss D-Dot years later in—
Look at that for karma. You're saying, rest in peace, but yeah, you're in a better place now, and then a few years later, you're dissing him. Like, yeah, it's mad. Look at that for karma.
Music. After ZT would get back and kill a loved member of Niners in one of the most brutal and violent ways, with this member being known as J-Dot. Around the end of 2014, a member of 98's known as J-Dot would get close to an 18-year-old girl. The girl would gain J-Dot's trust. However, unbeknownst to J—
Hey, sorry. Like I said, this is a reaction, man. If you want to watch it on your own, I'll try and get the link in. That girl looks all types of familiar. I don't know why I'm getting hit with deja vu.
get close to an 18-year-old.
To be fair, you can kind of see the pagan in her eyes. Like she looks like, yeah, setup chick. She seems so familiar, man. This is going to come to me in a minute.
The girl would gain J-Dot's trust. However, unbeknownst to J-Dot, she was friends with rival ZT members. And on the 6th of January 2015, the girl would arrange to meet J-Dot in Hackney. When J-Dot would arrive, rival ZT members Trey, Psycho, and Asbo would attack him. However, luckily J-Dot would be able to flee the attackers, making it out alive. During this time, J-Dot was actually unaware.
No, did this make the news? Did this make the news? Was it at a train station or something? And then, or did they, or she tried to set him up firstly. It didn't, yeah, they said he got away, but he didn't put two and two together. And then she set him up again the second time. Oh my days. I think Let me know in the comments or the chat what this might have hit the news, you know. This might have hit the news.
aware that he was set up by the girl, and over the next few hours, the ZT members would search the E9 postcode for J. However, they couldn't find him. The girl would arrange to meet J. and his friend around Hummerton High Street. The attackers would then be fed this information and would arrive on the scene moments later. J. would be stabbed 3 times in the chest, with one of his wounds breaking his ribs and piercing his heart.
Imagine getting chased down like that as well, though. Just knowing one slip, or if they catch you, start getting tired, you're not probably going to get back up. You're going to hold stabbings. Don't think it don't hurt. Like I'm saying, stabbed in the chest 3 times, did they say? Sorry. Look, running for your life, bro.
Would be stabbed 3 times in the chest, with one of his wounds breaking his ribs and piercing his heart. The attackers would flee following the attack, with
Look, you see them running across. You see what I'm trying to say? It's the most CCTV place, bro. They got the heart, but they ain't got no brains. There is no brains going on in there. It does say minimum 12. So that can get extended. Okay. How dumb can you be? Very dumb, apparently, bro. You can see it for yourself. Very, very dumb.
police and emergency services arriving on the scene moments later. However, despite the attempts of medical professionals, J. would sadly be pronounced dead only moments later, with another murder investigation being launched. The investigation would see the arrests of 4 people, including the girl, who would be found guilty and would be given.
Good. She's just as much responsible. Even if she, oh, I was pressured, you did it the second time. Do you know what I mean? Just as responsible. Good. I'm pretty sure this might hit the news.
14 years in prison. Trey from ZT would be found guilty of the murder and would be sentenced to life with a minimum of 16 years. Psycho, who would be sentenced to life with a minimum of 18 years and 6 months. And an unnamed 14-year-old boy, who is thought to be Asbo from ZT, would be sentenced to 12 years for his role in the murder of J. Rest in peace, J. Following the death of J. an image would start to surface on the internet. This image depicted J.'s dead body, with it being extremely graphic, showing all of the wounds and scars that he had sustained from the attack. And it would be in 2022 that an unreleased song would be.
What is the matter with these kids, man? They're barely into their 20s, they're barely out of their teens, and you're literally murdering people, taking the pictures of it, you know, rapping about it, just no remorse, no nothing. Like at those ages, I was raving, I was catching bodies, but not like this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, this is wild, you know. Just tap kids. Like I said, if the internet's bad, I apologize, man. That's why I'm not doing it pre-record. I'm just doing it live. Hopefully it's a little bit easier to digest.
Leaked onto the internet, this being titled JD's Corpse, and was an extremely disrespectful song, with the rapper being Lats. Lats would actually rap one of the most disturbing choruses, with him rapping, "We got a picture of JD's corpse, free Asbo, always in my thoughts. He ain't got no remorse behind the cell doors." With this being one of the most insane bars I think I've personally ever heard. Rest in peace, J. It would be following the death of J. that members on both sides would begin to drop music in the underground UK drill scene. In 2016, a member of ZT known as Asco would drop UK drill anthems. An example of this would be Zuvi, which gained loads of attention and currently sits on around 1.1 million views. He would also drop a song titled Last Night in London Fields, which sits on around 2.8 million views. It would also be around 2017 that a young member of Niners would begin to gain attention, this being Unknown T, who would drop a song titled Bop with Smoke, which sits on around 888,000 views. But it wouldn't be until 2018 that Unknown T would drop a serious UK anthem that blew his career into the mainstream UK rap scene. It would also be around 2017 that an active member of Niners would begin to get active within the streets, this member being known as Shegs or Sheggy, who would allegedly go on to kill 2 people before then becoming victim to the streets himself. On the 13th.
See what I'm saying? And he's now going to give us this story. I've noticed the formula. He's now going to give us the story of Shaggy or Shegs, whatever his name is. He's killed 2 people. He's going to say rest in peace after that. That's what I think a bit out of pocket, but that's just me.
9th of November 2017, 6 members of Niners, including Shegs, would travel from E9 to Stoke Newington, which is around a 15-minute drive. The 6 members would spot an alleged affiliate of Stokey 16, which is a gang that's based around
an alleged affiliate. So we're not even certain if he's an affiliate, let alone an actual member. Did that person do you any harm? Did that person shoot or kill anyone? We don't know. But no one stops and asks questions. Do you know what I'm saying?
Stoke Newington and has had beef with 98s for years. Anyways, the 6 members would see Khan Aslan, who was supposedly in the wrong place at the wrong time. The 6 members would jump out on Khan Aslan and would stab him multiple times, with one of these wounds even going through his heart. The 6 attackers would flee following this attack, with police and emergency services being called to the scene. Sadly, Khan Aslan would be pronounced dead on the scene, with a murder investigation being launched moments later. This investigation would only see the arrest of one member, this being a member known as Bruno, who would be arrested shortly after the murder.
Look at him, man. Another one. Old but young. Do you know what I'm saying? Barely any facial hair. Was he 18? Look at him. Life done, bruv. Life done. But only one of them getting caught? That's the minority, though. And minorities never make the rule. Most of these guys do get caught.
And would be charged for it. Bruno would actually be the only one ever arrested, and in 2019, he would be found guilty and would be sentenced to life with a minimum of 27 years. Rest in peace, Khan Aslan. Now, the beef would be very hot during this time, and only around 2 months after the death of Khan Aslan, another person would fall victim to the streets. However, this time, the person that would die would have no relation to any beef, with them being a civilian, and unknown T even fighting the murder charge. On the
What? So he beat a murder charge. I heard about that, but I didn't know it's for a civ. Now you can say rest in peace. This guy hasn't shot or killed anyone. Why did he get killed? We're gonna find out. This is a prime example of what I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
1st of January 2018, multiple members of the Niners gang would be attending a New Year's party. The members thought to have been present would be unknown T and Shegs, as well as a few other unknown 98s members. A civilian known as Steve Narvaez Jara would also be present at the party. Steve would approach the 98s members and would have an argument with them about a girl. The 98s members would begin to get aggressive.
Well, that wasn't very smart. What was he, one up as well? Unless obviously, you know, like sometimes you just gotta stand on business. You see, like if someone's tried to slap your girl's bum or something, do you get it? But at the same time, maybe, I don't know, surveil the situation. Oh, there's me, one of my girl, and there's like 15 to 20 man. It's not looking good, bruv. You might have to just hold that bum pat. We're gonna leave, and then we might have to see man on a rebound or something. But that's crazy.
With the incident turning into a massive brawl, with dozens of people hitting and kicking Steve. He would also be stabbed and would be rushed to hospital moments later. However, despite the attempts of medical professionals, Steve would sadly be pronounced dead in hospital.
Hold on. Sorry. I just missed that part. Everest is saying, did they top off a random eyewitness? Oh, you're talking about the civilian? I don't know. And I was thinking and I didn't really deep it. So that's why I'm just going to bring it back. Yeah, I'm just going to bring it back quickly because I just want to know why he died, innit? Like, obviously, he's got into an altercation over a girl.
Brawl, with dozens of people hitting and kicking Steve. He would
dozens of people hitting and kicking Steve. So why did this guy say a massive brawl? It's not a brawl. It's a rushing. It's a brawl if there's 2 groups fighting. Do you know what I'm saying? There's dozens of people beating up one guy. So if you're kicking and punching him, dozens of people, you don't need to stab him. Do you know what I'm saying? He's a civilian first and foremost. He's not doing gang. And you could probably kill him from the rushing if there's dozens of people. But while that was going on, he was stabbed in the chest and the arm with the blow to the chest piercing his heart. That is ridiculous.
Also be stabbed and would be rushed to hospital moments later. However, despite the attempts of medical professionals, Steve would sadly be pronounced dead in hospital hours later, with a murder investigation being launched. The investigation would actually be silent for months, with them searching for the killers. However, by the time they could charge anyone, Shegs would have become a victim to the streets. Police would then charge unknown T and 2 others for the murder. However, they would all beat the case. Rest in peace, Steve Narvaez Jara. Due to
I don't know why they beat the case, but this is the first guy you can say, or not the first, but yeah, civilian. An altercation. Sounds like he got battered, like dozens of people. Did anyone need to stab him? This is what I'm trying to say, man. Crazy.
The fact that Shegs was becoming well known in the streets, his rivals would be looking for any chance to catch him, and sadly this road lifestyle would catch up to him in April 2018, only 4 months after the death of Steve Narvaez Jara. It would be around 2018 that young members of both gangs would begin to drop serious UK drill bangers. In February 2018, Lats from ZT would drop a song titled Smackdown, which gained loads of attention.
Never heard of it.
Currently sitting on around 1.1 million views. Both gangs would gain millions of views in 2018. 2018, with rappers like Unknown T from 98s and Ballistic from ZT gaining tens of millions of views. However, despite all of the new eyes looking in on the music scene, there was still a war going on within the streets, and it would be Shegs that would sadly be the next person to die as a result of the beef. On the 4th of April 2018, Shegs would be pedal biking through his block in order to meet some friends. However, what he didn't know was that 2 of his ops would be on the lurk.
This guy's looking like some hyena at a Lion King or something, bro. Look at the 2 of his ops. Can this guy spell ops? No facial hair, nothing. How old is this? 17? Like 18 tops. State of it, man. And this guy Shegs was cycling on his block. So that's the first place that people go to when they're looking for ops. What you gonna do? Just not live on your block anymore. Do you get me?
Moments later, Shegs would spot his 2 ops, these 2 being known as B2 and TB. Once the 2 parties would see each other, a knife fight would ensue. Shegs would actually stab B2 multiple times. However, whilst he was attacking B2, TB would stab Shegs multiple times, with one of the stab wounds piercing his heart. Sadly, Shegs would be pronounced dead on the scene. With police and emergency services arriving,
Wow. So let me just take this in. So Shegs was on his block riding to meet some friends. This TB and whoever this other kid is, B2, has got into an altercation, and then Shegs has stabbed B2 multiple times. So you've approached your op and then got stabbed multiple times, and then your brethren has had to come and save you. That's crazy, isn't it? And stabbing Shegs. So Shegs died, and B2, I don't know if he died. TB didn't sound like he got stabbed. It's just crazy, isn't it?
Shortly after the attack, a murder investigation would be launched. This saw the arrest of B2, whose blood would be found on the scene.
Because these guys are so smart. This is what I'm trying to say, man. Oh my God. Just throw your life away, innit?
B2 would be charged and found guilty for the murder. He would then be sentenced to life with a minimum of
Obviously, he didn't die then.
17 years. TB would actually flee the country following the attack, with it being alleged he's still on the run. Rest in peace, Shegs.
Hey, not rest in peace. I'm sorry. You've killed 2 people. How can you rest in peace? I'm sorry. I don't agree with that, innit? Secondly, whoever this TB is, he's one of the lucky ones. He's always going to be running, always going to be paranoid. Like suspect done the dash, and they extradited him. Do you know what I'm saying? So wherever this guy is, you better be smart and you better know where you can go.
Shegs is actually remembered in loads of 98 songs. In Unknown T's Fire in the Booth, he would rap "Rest Up Sheggy, he got B2 no leggies," with this being a reference to how B2 was stabbed on the same occasion Shegs died on. Following the death of Shegs, a member of Niners known as Unknown T would drop a UK drill anthem titled Homerton B, which blew up and currently sits on around 29 million views. With this level of success,
It's big numbers.
blowing Unknown T up, with him even starting to be booked for shows across UK, which is crazy for someone who has such close ties to the streets. However, Niners weren't the only gang blowing in the UK drill scene. ZT would also be gaining attention, with a member known as Ballistic dropping a UK drill banger titled Who's Next. This song gained loads of attention, and currently sits on around 14 million views, which is crazy numbers for a UK drill rapper. Now, the beef between 98s and ZT would continue following the death of Shegs. However, a lot of the incidents that occurred between the gangs aren't actually known, so I won't be discussing the alleged incidents between the gangs. It would be around 2019 and 20 that new members from 98s would gain attention. These members included V9, KO, and DA, who all gained millions of views after dropping serious UK drill anthems, and it would be in September 2020 that all of these rappers would link up and would drop one of the most well-known UK drill albums, this being titled Class of 98s.
Yep. I mean, I think the Billy Billions guy was singing. It's like Unknown is like probably the best person I like. I didn't really rate V9 that much. KO weren't bad. Obviously, he's not here. But obviously, a lot of people like them. They had millions of views. It's crazy.
Which gained loads of attention, with each song on the album having hundreds of thousands of views. If anything, it was clear that the rappers from both ZT and 98s had serious potential, and had begun showing this in the UK drill music scene. ZT would also be making noise around 2020, with a member known as Blacka dropping seriously disrespectful bars, with fans even questioning if he was as active as he made out to be. However, it would be in October.
This is what I'm trying to say. I don't know how this whole thing started. When did it get cool to snitch on yourself? Do you know what I'm saying? When did it get cool to murder people and then talk about it? I don't know. Oh, we're not going to listen to his music because we don't know if he's on job or not. So then when he goes out to do something to prove that he's on job, you ain't gonna get no more music because he's gonna get shifted, arrested, or he's gonna get put in a box.
October 2020 that Blacka would prove how dangerous he was, with Blacka currently serving 35 years for this incident. On the 11th of October 2020, Blacka and another man would arm themselves with a
Looking like Abe, looking like the black Abe with, I don't even know what they are. The starts of dreads? I don't even know what that is. Jesus Christ.
machine pistol and would travel around Hackney in search of any rival gang members. The
With a machine pistol.
two members would come to a stop near a children's playground within the E9 postcode. Blacka would then raise his gun and would start shooting randomly into the park.
Recurring themes. How much do I stop it when I hear this shit? I hate this, man. Why on earth are you opening up shots in a public area? Like, you need to get close to who you want to get. You shouldn't be trying to get anyone, but I'm just saying, funerals, schools, parties, and you're not even like getting up close and doing what you need to do to the person that's actually done the wrong. You're just opening up fire. I can't. You're not bad. This is not bad. This is cowardly. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Just opening up into just killing innocent people. Look, triple shooting, innocent, Nisbet house, triple shooting, 3 people shot, none of them who you're trying to get. This ain't bad, man. This is a joke thing.
He would shoot around 13 bullets and would hit 3 people. This included a 60-year-old, 32-year-old, and 24-year-old who would be rushed to hospital following the shooting and were not in
60-year-old, 20-something, and a 30-something. All of them shot, none of them part of the beef. Because you opened up into it. You could have hit kids. Like, what? Oh, my days. Big up to AJ. Thank you for joining us, man. 6 likes. Not too bad. We ain't even had 6 people in it. Big up to you, though, man. Appreciate that. Big up AJ every time. Freddie Adu. Do you remember him from the MLS with dreads? Yeah, bro. Looking like Abe. Do you know what I'm saying? Whoa, like, fucked up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Big up Everest every time. Big up to you guys, man. Let's continue this. I believe we're getting to the end now, or not long from it.
involved in the beef. Luckily, all 3 would make a recovery, with the 2 attackers fleeing in a stolen car.
All my days. Like, they don't even look like they're the same decade of age. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? What's going on? How are these 2 friends? We got the black Abe looking like Freddie Adu, like fucking Everest says, and then we got like, you remember Jafar from Aladdin, without the hat, without the whatever he wears on top. We got Jafar from Aladdin. Bro, how are these guys friends? Answers in the chat. How are these how do they know each other?
An investigation would be launched following the shooting, with officers watching hundreds of hours of CCTV, with them eventually arresting Blacka and the second man. Both men would be found guilty and would be sentenced. Blacka would be sentenced to
13 shots at a children's park. Put them under the jail. Like, they should. And the thing is, why I say this as well, Everest, because I know you said with a minimum, we've got good behavior over here. So if you go to jail for 15 years and you behave yourself, you could be out in 7. Do you know what I mean? Or 7.5. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it might be a minimum. Like, there's no, he has to serve this minimum no matter what. So yeah, maybe that don't actually interfere. I'll have to try and find out. But anyway,
years, whilst the other man was sentenced to 27 years. Following the violent triple shooting, members from both gangs would be seriously popping in the music scene. An example of this was KO, who by this time had amassed around 100,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, dropping serious bangers like Niner Ting and Avengers, which both have over 10 million streams on Spotify. However, KO would find himself fighting a murder case that he got himself wrapped up in around the height of his career.
this is what I'm trying to say. And the recurring themes. Your favorite rapper can't rap no more. He's in jail. Do you know what I'm saying? This happens way too much.
With 2 people being killed in 2022. On the 3rd of June 2022, an OG member of LFB known as Hypo would be at a party within
Right. But why are they talking about KO? Because I swear this guy was stabbed by a bouncer. When do bouncers carry knives as well, man? Crazy, innit? Like, what did they even get in an altercation about? If you're a bouncer, you're working, someone's, I don't know, and then you go and stab someone at your place of work. And do you not think you're going to get caught? Anyway, that's from what I heard. This was on the news. So
East London, he would get into an altercation with a bouncer present at the party. This bouncer was actually known as Bigga and was from Enfield. Hypo would threaten
he don't look like a very smart man, does he? Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not, yeah, you can't judge a book by its cover. I'm just saying though, yeah. Lord have mercy. He actually looks a bit like Jafar with a little bit of weight on. You're at your place of work. Now understand, listen, there's people you have to throw out and you get into altercations with, but do you stab them or do you beat them up? Do the rest of the bouncers come? You throw them out? What? Crazy. Let's continue.
Bigga with a Rambo-style knife. Bigga would then leave this Bigga and was from Enfield. Hypo would threaten Bigga with a
Hypo would threaten him. Why? Because he weren't letting him in? Did he find the knife? This is crazy.
Rambo-style knife. Bigga would then leave this altercation, returning with a kitchen knife, which Bigga then used to stab Hypo multiple times in the chest.
Do you know what? I know, yeah, if you've seen law-abiding citizen, you know when Gerard Butler gets himself arrested, he knows all the police are coming. He's like, he's got his hands behind his head. He's naked. They can see there's no weapons on him. This bouncer might as well have just done that. After stabbing him in the chest, you should have just put the knife down and just got on the floor with your hands behind your back. How did you think you was ever going to get away with that? Was your life actually threatened at the time? I know he might have threatened you with the Rambo knife, but you had an opportunity to walk away, which means compose yourself, get back up, call the police, do whatever you need to do, but getting a kitchen knife, going back and stabbing him at the party with everyone there. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Police and emergency services would be called to the scene following the stabbing. However, sadly, Hypo would be pronounced dead only moments later, with a murder investigation being launched. Bigga would be arrested shortly after the attack and would stand trial. However, he would be cleared of the charges on the basis of self-defense.
This might be the smartest guy on the internet. I was just judging a book by the cover, saying he don't look very smart. Like diggity, I'm going to take that all the way back. Are you kidding? He beat the case on self-defense. You've walked away and then you've come back. What self-defense is that? Oh my days. He might be the smartest guy on the net. That has left me flabbergasted, guys. How on earth could that be self-defense? You've left the altercation, like whoever's in front of you, right, cool. You've walked off now. So unless that person's followed you, which it don't sound like it did, there's plenty of ways you could have then proceeded. Got your brethrens, know that he's got a knife, so let's just call the police, like we can get him arrested. I'm at my place of work at this time. I'm at my place of work. I'm not trying to murder nobody. I've just been threatened. Call the police or get all your bouncers and rush him or something more. Do you understand what I'm saying? You've gone somewhere else, got a kitchen knife and came back, stabbed him in the chest, sounded like multiple times, and then said self-defense, houseway. It's not like you had the knife on you or you've disarmed the person with the knife and then used it on him. You've clearly walked away and come back. There's so much things lost in translation in that little bit of time that you've walked off. Oh my days. That is madness, man. Big up AJ. Big up to you, bro. Big up. Yeah, it's a dub. I can't. What's that? How is it you managed to walk away? It's only self-defense if you was captured. If you disarmed your guy or you had your own weapon, that person drew a weapon and you just did it there on the spot. You managed to walk away. So how can that be self-defense? How? Oh shit, look, there he is, the person that asked for it. What are you telling me? I've had to do it like this because you know my internet is just the worst anyway, bro. Wreck-It Ralph. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't watch this, but I was trying to record some other stuff and it was just really bad. It's probably bad now, but it's a little bit easier to take on a live, innit? So here we are. This is your request, bro. Hope you're good. Man said, I'm in the middle of this as well. Thank God I never got caught in the firing line. Well, is that why you asked for it? Madness, man. Absolute madness. But let's continue. Hope you're good though, bro.
Rest in peace, Hypo. Following the death of Hypo, members within the LFB gang would begin to have an issue with each other, as Bigga's cousin is actually an LFB member known as Tiny.
Bigga's cousin. So what? Maybe that's why, because they recognized each other, or maybe the bouncer was doing gang. However, as I keep telling you, he's at his place of work. You're going to go to jail. You've managed to walk off, so your life couldn't be under threat that much. You managed to leave to go and get a knife. So much could have happened in that time, innit? It's crazy.
This then meaning that the LFB gang had started to have in-house issues. However, these have luckily not escalated to anything serious. It would only be around 2 months after the death of Hypo that a member of 98's known as Gashi would be stabbed by...
Gashi, what type of a name is that?
ZT members. 98's members would plan to spin back following the stabbing on Gashi, and only a day later, 98's members, including KO and Hitman, would get their retaliation. On the
That's probably why KO's behind the door now.
13th of August 2022, 4 members associated with the 90
You see this guy at the top, this guy at the top, bro, his face looks like how I feel, you know, just all puffed out. I've barely had any sleep, guys. That's why I didn't do nothing on views today on the sports channel, because I've been at the hospital. I need to go to sleep. I need to eat. She's still at the hospital. It's not her baby, it's her sister's, but she's acting like it's hers. It's just uproar at the minute, innit? So I've just, yeah, been at the hospital for mad early, and I still need to sleep. So this guy at the top left, his face looks like how I feel, bro. Just all puffy, like he's been stung by 100 bees. And look, KO down there, bottom right. Yeah, bare views. Over 100,000 people listening to you monthly on Spotify. And you go and kill people.
98's gang would ride out onto rival ZT territory. Both KO and Hitman would be present on this ride out, as well as 2 other members. The members would spot KB, who was a member of ZT, and the older LFB gang. KB was actually celebrating at his baby's first birthday party, when the members would
keep saying this about these recurring themes, innit? You know what I'm saying? Because you can't get them unless they're standing on the block. Like, people know that people are trying to kill them. He probably didn't even know that. Did this, whatever his name is, did he go and shoot and kill anyone? His child's first birthday, he ain't going to see his child's second, innit? So what, these people come and shut up the kid's birthday? Like, honestly, that's why I tell people, don't die for the girl with the bum. No, but this ain't even that. You can't even say he was outside because, girl, oh yeah, come down to this little function. It's his child's first birthday party. However, if you're gang, why are you going to have any type of parties outside in the public anyway? Do you know what I mean? Let me come back to the chat. Shit, then. What are you telling me, bro? Shane's in the building. I'm absolutely knackered, bro. I ain't even slept properly. I'm mash up. But big up to my broski Shane, man. Hope you're good, bro. Make sure that you're following Shane, guys. You guys will follow Shane anyway. Yeah, they have no brain. They got all the heart, Mally. But where's the brain? They go and do the drill, and they're literally behind bars quick and fast. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's mad. Big up to Dre, man. Finally catching a live. Always watch it on playback. Appreciate that. You know, my internet's in the bin, bro. It's so shit, bro. I tried to record another one. It was like not Apex. I found something else on another Aussie gang, and I can't do it now. I'm not gonna watch it again because I've seen it, but I'm fucking Wreck-It Ralph. So obviously I do that on the Views channel. Most of my lives in the afternoon are Wreck-It Ralph. It is what it is. At some point I got to upgrade the internet, but it's why I haven't been able to do lots more pre-records. But yeah, this has been Mali's request. So if you guys have got any requests that you want, specific areas, then let me know, man. But big up to you, Dre. Let me stop waffling and let's finish off this video.
pull up shooting at him. KB would be hitting this shooting and would sadly
Pull up shooting at him. Sorry, I've just stopped it again. Was you just standing outside? Sounds like it, doesn't it? Now, if you know you're doing things where people are shooting and stabbing, and you, bro, where is the brains, bro? I feel like all of these men are top gooners, but I swear.
be pronounced dead on the scene. With paramedics and police arriving moments later, a murder investigation would be launched following the murder. KO knew that he was going to be arrested in connection, so he would hit the
How? Sorry, I know I'm stopping it a bit now. How did he know he was going to be arrested to do with that shooting? Fingerprints? Did you bring your phone and fucking drop it? Like, what? How do you, or did someone snitch on you and you got this person snitching, like just giving you the warning? I'd be interested to know. Mally, if you know anything about that, put that in the chat. You know what I mean? He knew he was going to get arrested. How?
studio, recording as much music as possible. However, only days later, KO and Hitman, as well as other members present, would all be arrested for the murder, and it would be in the end that all 4 members were charged and found guilty.
So thick, innit? I really want to know how, Sway. Like I said, unless you had something on you dropped or you weren't wearing gloves, like who does this kind of stuff? Just like the bouncer that goes and gets a knife and stabs someone in the chest at their place of work in front of however many people. It's like, you might as just phone is that Feltham? You got a cell, yeah? Cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that Scrubs? Like, you know what I'm saying? Mad.
for the murder of KB. All 4 members have been convicted but are yet to be sentenced. Rest in peace, KB. During the trial, the court would actually use a song that KO would release a month following the death of KB. This song being titled Laughing Stock, with some very disrespectful.
I remember this song. Something about the laughing stops or something in it. Wow. And you see how they're using this stuff in court. That's why CGM had to change their name and all this. Yeah. You man are out is snitching on yourself. Like, I don't know when this became cool, but anyway.
Bars that alluded to the incident, with KO rapping, "Funny how we are the laughing stock. Someone gets slapped, now the laughing stops."
That's the bit that I remember from the song. The song was good, but you shouldn't be talking about things that are actually going to get you put behind bars. I don't know when that's cool, bro. I don't know when that's cool. KO is probably one of the best ones out of 98s as well. Let's be honest.
As well as another bar, Big Booth and Little Booth got hit. Same sig, that's a sour family. With this bar.
Did any of you not get that? Now, I'm not the smartest. Sig sour. I swear that's a gun, right? Hit with the same sig, but it's not sour SOUR. It's sour like SAEUR or something like that. Huh? If Shane's still in the building, Mr. Mensa, let me know. That's a mad double entendre, you know. Sorry, hold on.
Another bar, Big Booth and Little Booth got hit. Same sig, that's a sour family. With this bar in particular referring to how both Booth and his older brother were both shot with the same pistol, presumably a Sig Sauer pistol. The arrests of KO and Hitman would affect.
I do know little bits. I'm not completely thick. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
98's members heavily, with KO being extremely close to blowing in the drill scene. However, he chose to focus on the road life, and now must deal with the consequences. Since the death of KB, no other major incidents have occurred within the streets. If you have learned anything from this video, make sure that it's to stay away from the road life, as this life only ever leads to jail or death, with a prime example of this being KO, who was so close to blowing in the drill scene.
177,000 monthly listeners, not of all time, monthly. These times there, you've got the money to pay someone to go and do the drill. What are you doing? They ain't got no smarts like that, though. If they did, there'll probably be a paper trail to all of. They got no smarts whatsoever. I can't believe this, guys. Like I said, KO is probably one of their best ones. Obviously, we're at the end of the video. Mad, like Suspect. Blow up in the drill scene, oh, because you're mad and you're this, you're that. You're behind bars, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's your whole life now. Anyway, big up Mali. I'm pretty sure there was a group chat of them talking about riding out. Snapchat and WhatsApp. That these, you're not even supposed to bring your phones. You know what I'm saying? Like these, I don't even do any of this, but I'd know how to do it better than them. Or maybe I'm just saying, you know, read between the lines. These men are riding out with your phones. Some amateurs, bro. Cell site, that's the first thing. All paper trails, amateurs, bro. But no one should be doing this anyway. We're trying to teach the kids better. As an older person, yeah, teach the kids better than this. Too many young boys dying. Beef is fried, and older people are telling the young G's, yeah, go and do that drill. But do it yourself, bro. You're making young boys do it. Nowadays, just the young G's, and I don't know what's happening now. That's what I'm trying to say. But even still, where's the olders that are either dead or in the box? And the olders that are on the road are not trying to set anyone straight. They're trying to, yeah, the young G's. You know what I'm saying? It's mad. It's mad. It's pretty more calm nowadays. Things will still happen, of course, man. Big up to Dre. I swear all this to do today in live, yet people choose to live in a small room of a prison cell. Exactly. With a fellow man them that's worse than them. All types of sausage fest, all types of two human males in the same box sweating. Like I'm not on none of that. Never been to jail. You know what I'm saying? That's what we try and teach the people then, man. And if you're of a decent age, to teach the youngers better. Not even just that, but it's long because you're gonna get caught. We've got one of the best police in the world. Facts. Don't like to say it, but it's the truth. You're going to get caught. It's very few people that don't. But listen, man, Dre, Mali, Shane was in here at one point. You know what I'm saying? Kwaja, Everest. Yeah, Gashi, mad name. You know what I'm saying? AJ in the building. Love that, Kwaja. Yeah, we're going to get out of here now. But leave your comments, man. If there's a specific area that you want to see, Mali said Hackney, here we are. I might have to do a few of these lives where it's probably just a little bit better than pre-record, just a little bit. Do you know what I'm saying? Because my internet shit. But until next time, people, make sure to like and subscribe. Definitely share it out. Yeah, and we'll be back again soon. Oh yeah, it's like 4 versus 1. ZT a soloing 4 guys. That's all linked. Bro, earlier in the video, they were saying it's like 10 man against 30 or something. I said, bro, that's a mad little ratio right there. You know? But yes, man, leave your comments. Let me know what to do next. And until next time, people, views, tube, we're out.